Okay, we're starting.
Help! Okay. Hello. My freaking mic wouldn't unmute. I needed assistance. More peeps. Hopefully y'all can hear us.
Yeah, I should be able to.
I'm gonna turn my gain up, so hopefully I can be heard.
Remarkable boy. Quite smart. He was born in a robot factory in the Solana galaxy. But to be precise, he was created...
Okay.
Let that child alone.
I'm gonna turn down the
Miharu is my favorite #1 YouTuber and
hey,
favorite
Jordan,
Twitch of all time, and hi Mark.
20 buckaroonies.
Whoa! And also hi.
My arch nemesis. Not so smart now, are you?
Sir, the Zoni are inquiring about our progress.
How much longer must we pretend to be friends with those twigs?
Don't punch the child like that, Nefarious.
Punch the child.
Yes, I'm
Let that child alone.
fixing.
Stand by for sister board scan.
All right, let's see. Favorite colors.
I didn't know Mario had the first lines of dialogue in this game.
4.7, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Mario tells you about his son.
Neural safeguard activated.
I didn't know that he and Peach finally did the thing.
Somewhere in this brain lies the key to the Orbis chamber.
Dear Lord, when I saw all those emojis pop up, I legit thought it was... I had to look at Trey's name because I was going to get ready. I thought it was a fucking spam bot.
Oh.
That was a good thing I didn't do anything. I'm not saying don't spam emojis, I'm just saying I almost mistook that because we've been getting a lot of those like troll spam bot things lately.
Yeah.
Yes, Sergeant Clank just hit 20. Everything you know is a lie, and you are getting old. Deal with it. The time for 90s is over. 2000s are starting to get their nostalgia trip now. I get to sit back and laugh.
Everything we know is a lie.
The 80s kids had their time when like Smurfs and Alvin and all these other characters got their modern reboots and updates and adaptations for the current times, which was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
There's little Clanklet. They said, remember when Clank came out of the Warbot factory? Actually, that was a lie. Yeah, this motherfucker has lore.
Has lore. Well, I mean, like, they mention that. It's still part of his story, but like, it's, I don't know. It's like his soul was created here, but his body was created there. It's very weird.
I'll explain everything as soon as you're safe, sir. But right now, we need to calibrate your ocular...
Do you feel like it's shoehorned, or do you think that it's an okay enough backstory for Clank?
I think it's like half shoehorned and like half like it's fine. I don't know. Like, maybe it's kind of stupid, but at the same time, it never really feels like it's... I don't know. Like I said, it never felt like it was trying to be something it wasn't. It still felt like Ratchet and Clank to me.
Yeah. I getcha. You've never played a Ratchet and Clank game. Change that. Play Rift Apart if you have a PS5.
Yeah, play Rift Apart.
because it is very beginner friendly.
If you have a PS5, that is.
Yeah. I always preface PS5 exclusive games by saying, well, if you have one. But the good news is that more are starting to finally be like actually available. You know, the way they were supposed to be. Just with the combination of COVID and scalpers, it just really did a number on PS5s. Like, you and I were lucky to get ours. And even then, you got yours for like a way more expensive price than you should have, because we both were doing our damnedest to try and get a $500 PS5. I'm not gloating when I say it, but it's just the truth. I was lucky enough to have gotten one at regular price, but it sucks that you had to go through what you had to go through to get yours. But at least you got yours like what, like a week after mine, I think.
No, I got mine.
Wasn't it?
Oh, I got mine at Christmas. It like came. It came like
really?
Christmas Eve.
Oh well, shit. Well, at least they came in a timely enough manner, though. We still got ours in 2020, so at least we can say that. Jay says, if you don't have a PS5 but have a PS4, try the 2016 game. If you have a PS4 but have a PS3, get this, Tools of Destruction, or the HD collection. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Uh-huh.
And the PS Plus premium stuff, that goes for PS4 as well, doesn't it? Or is it just PS5? So I actually don't know.
Well, oh my god,
where you can get all the retro games and shit.
Wait, what do you mean? Did you say the premium stuff, or?
Yeah. Is that just PS5, or is that also PS4?
I think it should be PS4.
Right, 'cause I legitimately couldn't remember. I would say because, yeah, if you are willing to shill that much dough for, that whole premium deal or whatever to get the retro games on the PS4 or 5, then you can do that too. Because part of celebrating the 20th is that they're going to be putting, like, essentially all the rest of the games that aren't there yet up on the service. So, to some degree or another, you get to play all the Ratchet games on a modern PlayStation console, whether it's 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Although for me personally, I feel the cheaper option for my personal situation. It might be cheaper for me to just get the just to fix up our PS3 and just get the future games and all that on the PS3, because I just need to get a buy and install a new Blu-ray drive. That is the only thing that's going on with our PS3. It just kind of stopped playing Blu-ray discs and PS3 games, and that's when I realized if it's those specifically that it's not playing right, then it's the Blu-ray drive, because it can read regular DVDs and PS1 games just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think the collection and stuff that they're bringing to the PlayStation Store or whatever, they should be available on PS4. I'm pretty sure, because that would suck if you only had a PS4 and like all you could play was the reboot. Fuck that. Like, that's not what you want to start with.
I am curious. What lie did you tell the Zoni in your quest for vengeance?
It's still pretty good though. I think it's good.
It's mediocre.
Yeah.
They say I'm egomaniacal. Let's just say it's all in the past.
I don't know why everyone says it's so bland or so like forgettable. It's how?
Yes, it is.
How is it? Well, that's not a very
compared to the others though.
Well, okay, but that evolution kind of just sort of happened. I don't know if it was really the fault of that game in and of itself.
I don't think like it brought anything. I don't think it brought anything new to the series.
Well, I mean, it was something of a reimagining. It was retelling. So it kind of just blended a lot of shit together.
Yeah, it blended a lot of shit together, but not in a very good way, and it didn't bring anything new or interesting. I mean, the only thing that was updated was, like, it was the start of, like, the modernized controls, which is whatever, that's fine, but, I mean, even this game, I think, controls better.
It's huge. So huge, in fact, that if you lost your car keys in it, they would be almost impossible to find. Luckily,
No, I wouldn't consider it a damn good game despite its issues. I would say it's a mediocre game despite its issues.
It says, I'd argue the 2016 game is a better starting point than the 2002 game. At least the 2016 game isn't stingy with checkpoints.
And I'd argue that Rift Apart is a better starting point overall.
Sorry, I guess you could say I've been a little antsy in my pensy at the thought of getting back into the hero business.
It does still have the, it continues, if anything, the, again, you can argue, I'm not saying that this is like necessarily a point against it, but you could argue it still furthers the kind of flanderization of these characters, making them, you know, a bit more bland in comparison.
So I mean, that's like sort of started to happen here, but yeah, I mean, like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It started to happen here, but like it still felt fine.
But whatever blandness or whatever that you could say that came from the reboot, you can't fault the reboot for that. It was starting as early as these games. I think it's the first game where everyone just kind of took notice all of a sudden that that's what was happening.
It's because everything around it was also boring. Like, if you're gonna, like, make a certain character more bland than they were originally, like, at least make the other characters around them fun. But, like, nobody was fun. Everybody was boring. Also, oh my god, the animations in the reboot just suck.
I know which one you're talking about. Mainly
it's like the idle animations when they're just talking to each other, they're just bouncing and like, yeah, it looks so horrible.
Because it's running in real time and there are no real script animations. They're kind of just idling while they talk.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I don't like to look at it. Hey, Nintendo Ken.
Beats me. Perhaps a leisurely stroll through this uncharted jungle will solve the mystery.
Okay. Whoop.
Marooned on a hostile alien planet, Captain Quark realized his rescue mission would inevitably
Go explore the jungle, why don't you?
I'm exploring the jungle.
Explore the jungle.
Wow! Camera. There we go.
Fix the game story so that Ratchet wasn't an ass. But they could have left a little ass. Not too much ass. Not as much ass as there was, yeah.
Leave a little ass. As a treat.
Give Ratchet some ass. Because, no, we've talked about it plenty, though. I think that's just the point where people actually were able to take notice, because it was I mean, no, there was minimal effort in, for the most part, in certain cutscenes like that, when it was running an engine, but, I don't know, I think because it was a recreation of moments from the first game, and it was something of like a sort of remix of the origin story, of how just they met, everything came to be, like, plus they also had to match the tone, the cinematic tone of the movie, so like, now it's less of a video game and it's more of the game based off the movie, based off the game as they advertised it.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think there was any need for a retelling.
I'm still gonna stick to my guns. I don't give a fuck what any of y'all say. I still think that if only one of those projects, the game or the movie, had to exist, and if the other one had to be banished forever to never have existed, I would say the game could have never existed, so the movie could have thrived, because the movie, I still feel, is one of the most faithful video game adaptations to what the source material was that you're ever gonna get. You've got the voice actors there, you've got the animation there, you've got the plot from the original game there.
I agree for a different reason. I agree that the movie is more entertaining than the game, but I don't think it's incredibly faithful to its source material.
I'm sorry, I fucking cut out. What'd you say?
Like,
my headphones came out again.
I mean, I'm gonna say I agree for it
for a different
being,
reason.
Yeah. I don't think it's incredibly faithful to its source material. I don't think that's the right way to say that.
Well, no. Well, I'm tackling it. Well, what are you thinking, like the story or something? Because that's only one aspect about it. The character designs are the character designs from the games. The voices are the voices from the games.
No, they aren't all the character designs from the game, and they aren't all the voices. You're thinking of the main characters.
What are you talking about? Well, okay, but
like,
okay, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
like you're thinking Ratchet and Clank and, like, you know, Quark, but, like, you know, there are others that didn't get that treatment. So, like, if you're talking about that for only like a few characters, that's not.
It was a modernized treatment, though.
That's not really applicable.
The first one it's not necessarily fully applicable to is Drek, because yes, it's a different actor and a slightly different look for him, mainly like in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who else makes an appearance? I'm trying to remember who else. The most faithful ones would be Ratchet, Clank, and Quark, yes. Most everyone else is either original or, again, yeah, Drek wasn't super, like, accurately...
Like, Al looks weird, and he has a different voice, too.
I gotta watch the movie again.
I don't even know. I don't think he's... Is he in the... I don't know if he's in the movie. I don't remember.
I don't fucking remember.
I don't think so.
But I'm talking about the movie. Again, pretend the game doesn't exist at all in this scenario.
Okay, if we were to pretend that the game doesn't exist at all, but, like, then they just created, like, new characters, so, like, it doesn't, at that point, it doesn't even matter.
I don't know, I still think it's one of the most faithful things we've gotten. Comparatively to other video game movies, I think.
Well, yeah, comparatively, I guess, but, like, that's only in, like, it looks like, you know, it looks like Ratchet and Clank should look, and, like, it's just like, I mean, I guess it's mostly in the looks. I'm, like, I'll go for mostly the looks.
That's been the biggest problem that everyone's ever fucking had with any video game movie ever. The original 90s Mario movie looks absolutely nothing like the games. Street Fighter looked nothing like the games. Mortal Kombat looked almost nothing like the games. Like, some of the characters look kind of accurate or whatever, but, like, it was either the plot, the characters, like, something or other in there was, like, really, really off, like, really fucking off, to where it was like, okay, they're either pulling shit out of their ass for the script, or the actors are super not totally acting, or they don't even look like the characters they're supposed to be portraying, or both in terms of characters. But no, Ratchet and Clank the movie, some of those characters are very faithful. I know, okay, yes, I'm not gonna, you know, lie or pretend like everyone was faithfully adapted, but because I forgot, yeah, I wasn't thinking about Drek, but, like, you know, for the main ones that we're following, who are from the games, who are the title characters, they are absolutely faithful. Except for the fact that, yes, the flatterization even was in the movie too. I mean, yes, Ratchet still looked good at two shoes, but whatever.
Also, like, I mean, like, I guess you could also say, like, Nefarious, but, like, the thing about Nefarious is he's not supposed to be there. Like, that's the fucking thing about him.
Well, yeah. For both the game and the movie, I mean, yeah, they just kind of shoehorned him in because popular bad guy character. But, just comparatively to everything else that we've ever gotten, before and after, I think the next thing to rival Ratchet and Clank, in my opinion, is probably going to be the Mario movie. For as much as, you know,
doesn't look like himself either. I mean, like, it's okay, they completely redesigned his, you know, organic self.
Oh yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, I forgot about that. I was trying to say his colors or whatever. Like I know his
Well, yeah, his colors are
like,
different too,
but he looks like Nefarious. You see him and you go, yes, that's Nefarious. It's not some different movie design.
I
They
mean, I
kept everything
suppose.
extraordinarily
Well, when you see him as a
faithful.
robot, it's like, yes, that's Nefarious. But like when I
That's
saw
what I
him,
mean.
yeah.
Well, that's what I mean because
But that's at the end of the
iconic look for
movie.
him.
I don't immediately like see him as Nefarious when like he's, you know, in that organic form.
That was him for the majority of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. See, that's not immediately recognizable as Nefarious to me. I'll be like, yeah, that's him, but like, you know, I don't want it to be.
Next up on Mark and Miharu's debates. The great debate.
Well, it's a different kind of debate, mostly because, like, you know, I'm the one who's played these games, so.
Well, okay, but okay.
I have more to say.
I came in at the time. I just made a fucking thing about this on Twitter where I was like, yeah, I came in. I literally got into the series in 2016. Okay, maybe like 2015. Like late 2015, because that's when I started to actually play the first Ratchet and Clank game. I picked it up, and that was the first Ratchet thing I owned of the series. Was the first game, and then I started playing through it, so I got to see the origins of the characters. And then the day that I finished it, that I beat the game, a perfect 7 days later, one exact week later, the reboot was coming out. So I went ahead and pre-ordered it, and I didn't have a PS4 yet. I played it on my friend's PS4, but then it was the reboot. So now it's a retelling. So I got to experience, you know, quote unquote, experience it again. But it's, you know, it's told differently, and things are not, you know, the exact same. But some things are familiar, and so I still thought it was kind of cool. Sorry that I'm one of those people that didn't grow up with the fucking franchise and get to see and beat all the games.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to like the reboot, that's fine, whatever, but I mean, objectively, I just think it is kind of mediocre.
Well, I mean, I understand.
I did say, like, I mean, I guess subjectively, but, like, also I really think objectively, because it's just, I don't know.
Are you not listening to me? I just said that was the first game I ever played for the Ratchet games in 2015 was the first game. I just said that.
The original game.
Pay attention. Yes, the very, very first game.
Yeah, you played that one first, which is, like,
yes,
good.
And I beat it. That was I went ahead and I got it and I played it and I beat it, and the day I beat it, I'm not just gonna start buying up all the fucking like binging, splurging money on the entire franchise. Plus, most of the games weren't even, you know, all fully there where I got the first game. So I started with the first game, and then like as that was happening, the hype for a new Ratchet thing was in the air with the reboot.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, fuck it, get in the PS4 game. And up until that point, that was the like extent of my expertise, my experience. I do it now. Since then, I do have Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, which I need to get back to playing Going Commando. And Rift Apart, obviously. So
I think the hardest thing about getting into the series is that it's just like so many of the games are spread out to like different consoles, and it's just like fuck, you know.
I mean, well, that doesn't stop me.
So exclusive.
With certain franchises, well, it hasn't stopped me with certain other franchises, but because I mean, it's the same time frame for some of those. Hey, for people who might think that this is a weird situation or whatever, I'm not one of those people that there is. How the fuck am I trying to word this? believe it or not, there are some franchises I didn't grow up with. It's not like every staple platformer franchise I just happened to grow up with. Like, I grew up with Crash, yes. I grew up with Sparrow, yes, because I'm a 90s kid. That was my era. Come PS2, I stayed a lot with Crash and Sparrow, and there were some other games I picked up here and there that were PS2 exclusive or whatever, or GameCube exclusive, but I just, for whatever reason, I never really heard of or happened to have picked up Ratchet or Sly or Jak and Daxter. As a kid, I don't know why. I never really seen them around. I saw like maybe an ad or two here and there. I think it was just my exposure. A lot of what I wanted as a kid, like games I wanted to try out or whatever, just happened to have been through exposure first. I had to have seen it from like an ad and have been interested enough in it to be like, hey, I want to, pick this up at some point and play it.
Yeah.
It just never happened for Ratchet or Sly or Jak until like I was ready, just fresh out of high school. So I don't I don't have much experience with some of those franchises, because I do own the first 3 Sly games. I've only beaten the first one and played through a little bit of the second one.
That's fair.
Jak, I've beaten the first one a couple times over already. We own most of the Jak games except for Daxter, because we've never have, and still to this day have not. We don't own a PSP or anything like that, or a Vita or whatever. So we've never played Daxter. Lost Frontier I'm not really have no interest in playing that. But we have everything else. We've got Jak 1, 2, 3, and X. All for PS2. My first, actually, it was the PS3 era where I got a couple. Okay, so I got into Jak with the PS3 games, or rather, well, games. The collection, and that's where I first played and beat 100% the first game.
Yeah.
And then when we first streamed it here on my channel, that was through the PS4, and in my dumb little drunk stream from the 4th of July stream from this year, I played it on PS2. So I do have all the games on PS2.
Yeah.
But just for my general exposure to Ratchet, I was exposed to Ratchet. I finally decided to dive into the franchise at a time where it was in a bit of a weird spot because of the reboot and the movie. People didn't know really what to make of all of it, and the fact of how we're saying that, yes, the characters were starting to get a little fanderized at that point. Longtime fans are starting to kind of recognize that they didn't have that edge to them anymore, necessarily. They're just still there, but it's just nowhere near what you could get away with from like the mid-2000s.
Yeah.
Everything's all PC now, so,
Whoa.
I just happened to come in at that time. So, to me, I'm not saying that's Ratchet to me, because, no, I do recognize, how they started. Again, I played the first game first, so I know how they're supposed to be or how they started. But,
Got it.
Nice work, Ratchet. Operation Red Shirt is a success.
I still think I don't care. I said I don't care. I still think that the Ratchet movie is one of the most faithful adaptations.
Like, in a sense.
Well, I'm not saying it's the most faithful adaptation of all time. I'm just saying that at least as far as video game movies go, it's really up there. I feel it set some sort of a bar. The bar was already really fucking low, because like I'm telling you, all those examples I gave, it's essentially shit. I don't think anyone's ever said with a straight face and meant it wholeheartedly that the Ratchet movie was shit. I don't think so, because there was.
I don't even think it's a bad movie. Like, I mean.
Then there you go. That's already proof enough that it did something well enough as an adaptation. This is why I'm making that video. I'm gonna retread that video, and that was back. I made that video back when the Ratchet movie either had just come out or it was going to come out. because the whole reason why that video even came out, or why I did it, was because I saw the trailers and I got pretty interested. I was like, oh my god, this looks cool. It's almost like if you're doing a fucking movie about a cartoon thing, maybe you should make it CGI, because they're already CGI in the games.
Yeah.
The fact that it's been this long and we're finally barely getting a CGI Mario movie is like astounding. Although I feel that's more on Nintendo's part than anything else. But I mean, whatever.
But like, I am also like a believer in not everything has to be super faithful to be good.
I mean, I can get behind that, I guess, to a degree, though. Something at least has to feel like if it's a video game adaptation, or no, even like if it's a fucking like anime adaptation to film, like there still has to be something that even remotely reminds you, like, yeah, this character would do this, even if it's a different thing or a new thing, because you know how like not all the dialogue is completely for an adaptation or whatever is completely word for word lifted from something, like quotes, familiar famous character quotes or quips or whatevers or speeches might be, but like not every single thing is one-to-one adapted, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think you really can get to that point, but like when you see your favorite characters from the original source material doing new things or doing adaptations of the old things that they had done before, but there's a new twist on it. I mean, sure, that could be interesting as long as it's like still familiar, though, and not for the sake of like maybe it's cheap. It could be considered cheap. It could pad out the time, and they just included it to get the brownie points for making it an adaptation. Case in point, I'm always going to bring it up. The Dumbo Pink Elephants thing. Like, in the remake, there was no reason for it to be there. Now, as an adaptation, there was no point for it to be in the original movie, but it was cool because it gave the animators a chance to flex their animation skills and just the crazy bullshit they could come up with off the top of their head. That's why I like that scene from the original, but I saw how they treated it as an adaptation, because once you're adapting something, you're not in the mindset of, I'm gonna make this thing. You're recreating something.
Yeah.
So that mindset is, I'm going to recreate this. I'm going to have to adapt it over. Like, there is no other real way to think about it. So you have to think, there was already a fan base for this thing. We have to make sure that we get this right, or whatever. And like, if you're just not in that mindset, or you just stray too far and you think you're doing whatever, it's just, I don't know, I don't think it works all the time.
I mean, because you've talked about how, like, how people can push their creative freedom in games. Like, you could also push your creative freedom in movies, I think.
No, sure, for sure, but like, that's the kind I said, at least something needs to be there. Not for the sake of, because it has to be, but because like it's a nice, like the way the decisions were made, I don't fucking know. I've never adapted something over, so like every moment to moment decision has to kind of make sense, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's
in the
also
grand scheme of the adaptation.
The thing is, it's so hard to know where like you should put something and where you shouldn't, because when things like get remade, it's like people are always like, oh man, I hope they have this part, or I hope they keep this scene or this line or whatever. It's like, all right, what if they keep it, but there's absolutely no reason for it other than to just be there? Are you gonna be happy about that or not? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. You're basically echoing what I just said earlier, like about quips or moments or speeches that so-and-so gave, or something that happened some cool thing that
Yeah, I know.
happened
I
or
know what
whatever.
you're saying. I know what you're saying, but like I was talking about specifically when people request that it is in a remake, that a certain thing
Yeah.
is in a remake. It's like, okay, you want it to be there, but what if it has no reason to be there? So, will you like it or not?
I mean, adapting something is a double-edged sword because it's like how I did with the creative freedom thing. It's like, yeah, how I said in that video, there's got to be a balance. There's got to be like the two sides of the ones making the thing and the ones that are going to be receiving that thing and what they want to see. So yeah, with remakes, if we're talking about games or even movies, but even just adaptations too, kind of bring it back full circle, I guess. Like it can still be said that like, because there's creating just an original ass story off of something vaguely from the games or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's like completely trying to take what little you can or how much you can, like from the base of like, again with Ratchet, they didn't do any one specific storyline. They kind of just like did the first game's plot of how they met and then just kind of went from there. Like Drek's thing was still, I don't know why they kind of just shoehorned Nefarious in to be the main villain and overthrow Drek, but
It's
like
because everyone loves Nefarious. Like, that's... I mean, that's basically why. It's because he's so popular that they want to keep putting him in things.
I mean, for as bare bones as you can get, which I'm not saying that's the bad thing, for what you can take for the movie, because you've got a limited time to tell the story versus a game where cutscenes and the length of games are way fucking longer than movies.
Yeah.
So you get way more because there are moment-to-moment cutscenes and little bits here and there. They couldn't adapt everything over, but taking the baseline story of Ratchet meeting Clank, learning about Drek's plot, seeing that Drek's plot is still from the first game too, and then just all of that, how that, and even they even worked in, yeah, how like, you know, Quark betrays them. So like, you know, they hit all the moments they needed to hit. That's what I'm saying though, is that's still pretty faithful, even if it's not done in the same exact way.
Yeah,
which I'm
like
not saying
they
necessarily
have
has to be.
They have the basic points, but like it doesn't.
Well, guess what?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work in the same way.
Well, sure, but because you're thinking. I mean, you're thinking directly about the games, which makes sense for longtime fans to really criticize the movie for that. But again, me not having that much Ratchet experience, I'm talking comparatively from other movies. That's already kind of raising the bar from what the other video game movies did. They barely stuck to the plot, to any plot at all. I just recently watched the Nostalgia Critic review on the Doom movie, and wow, they got like some bits right, and then the rest is just off the rails. Like, if you want bland, the Doom movie somehow makes the craziness of the games bland. I don't know how they managed to do it, but they did it. I didn't know that that's the rep that movie had. I've always heard the Doom movie get grouped in with all the other ones as a really shitty adaptation. I'm like, oh, why? Now that I'm kind of like sort of trying to get into the Doom games, which is just a recent thing that happened, I was like, okay, well, what's wrong with the movie? And then I'm watching the Nostalgia Critic review, and I'm like, oh, somehow they managed to make it boring. And it's an R-rated movie too. I was like, if it's R, how the fuck did you fuck it up that bad? Like miss the concept. Like the concept was gift wrap for you, and you somehow like veered around it, like, and only took a little bit of like what vaguely makes Doom. Like, that's an example of like kind of doing half and half. Like, you took the components, but you didn't nail the feel down necessarily.
Anyway, what was I gonna say? Train. Yeah, I'll play Thieves in Time eventually.
Thieves in Time. Silver, how was your Halloween? It was
I like that game. I don't care what anyone else says. I like it.
That's my 2 cents. Y'all can't change my mind. I'm sorry.
Hyperspace fuel module released.
This is a reminder that no one is to execute the prisoners until we have extracted the location of the rebel azimuth. Also, we will be serving fried weasel in the cafeteria.
Jace, you're part of the problem. First point. I'm playing. I'm
Oh,
not
no, no,
trying
no,
to.
no, 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 no.
I'm just busting your chops. No, because Jace is like, for as pointless as Nefarious was in the 2016 game, I still enjoyed seeing him because he's just as much of a ham as he was in Up Your Arsenal and
Well,
Time.
sure.
Yeah,
like he still
what they
has the
want you
same
to
personality. That's the thing.
That's what they
There's
want.
nothing wrong with Nefarious as a character. It's the overuse of him that I don't like.
Well, because that's the draw-in, is how quirky he is and how, like, just how he is. His very personality. The thing with Ripto, like how you said, if Ripto literally just shows up in Spyro 4 or whatever it's going to be called when it actually gets revealed, whatever it is, whenever a new Spyro theme comes out, and if they make Ripto either the main villain again or he's like really prominently featured, and like none of the other classic villains or any other villain like returns, but he's the only one, you know it's because Ripto's made the most appearances of all the different villains Spyro's faced.
Yeah.
It's because he's the popular one. That's how they get you. They want to milk it. You're like, this works. We can think of some more funny shit for them to do. And I know it's a double-edged sword for you because as much as how you're going to start feeling that burnout, you're probably still going to get really excited though to see all the brand original new things he'll be saying and doing though, huh?
Wait. Subscribe to a channel by some Sly Cooper fans which you don't like. Who? Who do you mean? Because I'm not really subscribed to like any huge Sly fans. I mean, I'm subscribed to like a couple people I know talk about Sly sometimes, but
destroy it. Destroy it. I finally found a spam bot. No, but like I was saying, Ripto, I guess in this in a specific case for you is probably a double-edged sword because in whatever new thing that comes out for Spyro, you're not gonna want him to be milked, but like you are still gonna probably like really be excited to like see and hear the new things, the completely new original things he'll be saying and doing though. Because how long has it been since we last got to hear and see him in a console game? You know, it's not an adaptation. It's not, you know, like a remake or anything. It's going to be like original new shit.
yeah. Chronology? Like chronological? Like something in chronological order?
Essentially from how it... Oh, Lord, I know what I'm trying to say. How do you describe that? How do you explain
Describe chronological order? Like,
the order in which it came out.
The order, yeah, the order in which the games came out, like, by year.
Do I hear the scream children?
Yeah, probably.
They all go out and in unison harmonize with one another in a very creepy tone. That was a good talk. Chat, give us something else to talk about. Give us something else for me to put my opinion out there on so you can hate me. I'm all over the place with this series. Missed a ton of the PS3 games. Yeah, that's kind of where I am. Like, that whole chunk is just not there for me right now. It was the first game, reboot, Rift Apart. And then I went backwards, all the way back to going Commando.
Which you still need to finish so we can get to UYA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've yet to play a slight per game. I've yet to play a lot of beloved series. Yeah, that was the same for me. I've only played the first game in like some of those iconic series.
Alright, we'll find
Series.
If he's an enemy of Nefarious, he might be a friend to us.
The Skyward Blast. I like the way it looks, but yeah, it's like, it doesn't really do much.
Play Bentley's Hack Pack, I doubled area.
Don't want to do that.
Do you mean Trey in the are you trying to refer to like something about it? What you're trying to say? Are you talking like mainline versus spin-off, or do you just mean like literally the order in which the games are all coming out or have all released?
Or like, what's the question? What are you trying to ask?
I think I get it, but I just need a little more clarification. I need a distinction. I don't know if you mean like literally the order in which the games came out, which would be chronological order, or if you mean like, because I was thinking that I was thinking like disjointed storytelling, like if like how like the reboot, how it kind of goes back to like, you know, like the first game sort of, so you couldn't really put that like that's like its own separate thing or whatever. Or God forbid you talk about something like, for another example, like Zelda or whatever, how they have their own timelines or whatever. So like, if chronological order in terms of like, or for the story and how the games come out, or if you mean like mainline versus what's considered spin-offs or whatever.
Yeah.
The Secret Agent of Clank would be like a spin-off, and like certain other games are spin-offs.
Hyperspace fueling module released. Third hyperspace fueling module released.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Zircon is coming to kill you.
The storyline's in order in the franchise. Okay. Then that wouldn't be chronological order. What order would that be? No, chronological is literally the years that the games came out, or when the games came out.
In auxiliary
It'd be playing the first game and then going commando.
Yeah, there's another word for that.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to. Let's see.
I see that word on wikis all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's just like continuity or like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm trying to, because there is a phrase with the word order in it for it. I'm not remembering it.
I don't know, maybe it's just continuity.
Yeah, continuity wise, there's no real like way to describe saying continuity. If you want to play the games by their continuity, that's how we would have to word that, and then it'd be a different order. It wouldn't be the way they came out. Probably, I think Tabriz was trying to say
sequential. Yeah, sequential.
Sequential
maybe?
order. I think maybe. Canonical order is another one. Yeah, canonical. Yeah. Chronological is the way that Trey said it, but that wouldn't be what you're describing because that wouldn't be what Trey's describing because Trey's talking about the actual in-game events. So unless those events, if those events aren't told in chronological order, like the first game happens first, the second game happens after, the third game happens after that, then yeah, like, which I mean, I think for the first three they do, but like with the future games and how things happen, like that's when shit can get really complicated.
Yeah.
People are still trying to make a timeline out of the Crash games, and that's why I included it in my iceberg video.
Yeah, but like, it's probably like sequential or some logical.
No, I'm looking up sequential just to make sure that that's a sequential order, because it says here sequential order versus chronological order, and then right here it says yeah, something that's sequential often follows a numerical or alphabetical order, but can also describe things that aren't numbered but still need to take place in a logical order.
Yeah.
Which in that case would mean how the story beats go, even if they're not told the way they came out, but trying to like kind of remap them together to the events in universe in the plot flow. That'd probably be sequential order. And now canonical order I think would be the same thing, but when talking about the events, or like I was saying, mainline versus spin-off.
Right.
Canological. The order in which things happened in the canon. Yeah, canonical order would be like the actual literal term.
Yeah.
Canonical order.
Ew, canonical order.
I don't know why. I don't know why I slipped into that. I have a soft spot for canon.
I have a soft spot for canon. Apparently, no, you don't, though.
No. He really doesn't.
He really doesn't. Nothing is canon.
None of it is, and all of it is.
Nothing is canon, and all of it is canon at the same time.
Hey, CK, how much of your lore is canon? Yes. That's not what I don't care.
How many of these characters are canon? Yes.
All of them. Because I said so.
Loading bay doors are open. Launching escape vessel.
Like stars, Jesus.
2, 1.
Don't even. My take on Star Wars. I don't know if you want that, dude. I'm not saying it's controversial. I'm just saying every answer, according to Star Wars fans, is the wrong answer, unless it's what they deem worthy of being the right answer. And they can't even. Star Wars fans are a lot like Crash fans. They kind of know what they want, but they also don't fucking know at all what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I've come to take away from the fan base of both. That's how come I'm not subscribed to any one fan base. I like being in a little community of people that it can either be like-minded or have their own differing opinions, as long as they're not fucking assholes about it. But like, because the majority of the fan bases are just fucking assholes. The way I watch the 9 movies, though, if that's what you want to know about, is now, because you have to get into every little fucking detail about it. So I'm just gonna say right now that we watched them all on Disney Plus. So the originals, the originals, 4, 5, and 6 are the special editions. So you know, I'm not saying anything's better than anything. I'm not saying anything's worse. I'm just saying those are the ones we watched because those are the ones on Disney Plus. My mom does own, I think, the ones. She has them on VHS. I don't know if she has all 3 of them on VHS. I'm sure she does. I fucking love Star Wars, but
I own the one of those special edition DVDs of Episode 5, which are like the really hard ones to find and they're really expensive, and like they come with the newer version, like the special edition and like the theatrical release on them.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, in terms of fucking, oh Jesus, in terms of fucking no, in terms of versions of 4, 5, and 6 and all that, like, all I'm saying is those are the ones that we watched. I haven't tried to watch any other versions of those yet, but I'm open to it because I like to see that evolution. As early as you can possibly go with those 3 movies, I'd like to watch them. But the ones I'm gonna watch, the ones that are on Disney Plus. But we went 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. It was the originals, then prequels, then sequels.
Yeah.
Because my mom being the one who wanted to orchestrate the whole thing for like the longest time, and I finally was like, okay, let's do it. She gave me the option, or us, because we watched them as a family. She was like, do you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or do you want to start with original? And she was kind of pushing, I think, for us to do originals first, but she did ultimately leave it up to us. And I was like, yeah, you know, I want to watch the originals because they're the iconic ones. They're the ones that, you know, essentially can do no wrong. I mean, I'm sure that if you're really, 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 you know, a true critic can still find things that could have been improved even back then for something as iconic as that. But, you know, whatever. Like, they're the ones everyone knows and loves. Then you go into the ones that kind of started that divide, and then you go into the sequels, which are just the newer ones. So that's the order in which we did it. And then I think after the sequels, we went backward a little bit and watched Rogue One and Solo.
Rogue One's really good.
Yeah, I liked it. Now again, only watching all of these movies all the way through like the one time. Actually, episode 3 I've watched a couple times in the past, but
that's my favorite one.
It's got so many funny little moments in there. So many quirky little moments. I'm not a connoisseur in the fucking slightest of Star Wars. Like I said, this happened like a few months ago. This happened back in like the summer, I think, or spring of this year. So I am not. We cannot have a full in-depth conversation about anything. I'd have to watch all the movies at least another like 7 times to even really even remotely be able to talk at length about any one particular thing.
There. Yeah, Train, I'll play Thieves in Time eventually.
Thieves in Time. Trigger says, I know why you like episode 3, because Grievous.
Oh yeah, of course. John Grievous is amazing.
Grievous. Because of little Greaves.
It's so funny because, like, I was like, yeah, just like, oh yeah, General Grievous is amazing. Highly fuckable. It's just like, what? It's just like me saying things like that. It's like, huh?
The only show I've seen was,
it's like me talking about how characters are just, like, cool, and then, like, it sounds all normal, and then suddenly I'm just like, oh yeah, they're fuckable. Just like, what?
Silver, you're not the only one. Miharu also unironically loves Jar Jar.
I love Jar Jar. He's so cute.
What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? The only show I've seen on Disney Plus is Obi-Wan all the way through. I watched the first episode of Andor, so I gotta get back into that. And I'm gonna have to just work backwards to whatever the fuck one because they're all like their own different stories or in their own different wherevers. Like I don't know when in the fucking timeline Mandalorian takes place, but there's that I gotta watch. I remember I did a long time ago try to get into the Clone Wars. And I don't know what the hell that's turned into because there's Rebels, there's that new Jedi one where it's still that art style and that animation style, but like it's like a different ass, like I don't know where that went, but I remember it was called Star Wars The Clone Wars. And I watched like a few episodes of that like a long time ago, but I never ever finished it. And it's still going to this day, but under like a new fucking subtitle, and it's like the 3rd subtitle. Yeah, Tales of the Jedi. So I don't know where I don't know. I would like to get back into that. I know it doesn't really count, but I have seen Star Wars Visions because I was like, oh shit, it's anime. That's pretty cool.
Anime.
And then LOP happened, and I was like, fuck. So, shut up. Jar Jar. A little gun in Jar Jar's little hand.
Oh, look on Jar Jar's little hand.
Oh yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Clone Wars, Rebels, all that stuff. So I would like to go back. There's just a lot of seasons, and it's split between like I don't know if you would consider these three different shows if they're all like the same kind of basic thing with the same characters and whatnot. I'm just gonna say it. Pretty much carried Visions.
Yeah.
She was just in the one episode. Which episode of Star Wars Visions is y'all's favorite? I like the Studio Trigger one with the siblings. That one was pretty cool. And then there's the one with the girl bringing the lightsabers to who she thinks are the Jedis, but they're not the Jedis.
But they're not the Jedi.
Then like one of them was, but the rest of them are like,
We are the Sith.
We
You
are the
have
Sith.
given us-
Do it.
Do it. Why am I Palpatine?
Do it.
He wasn't there.
Oh, I love pirate radio.
Is it very relaxing?
It is. I love this music.
Smooth jazz.
It's more like soft rock.
So, oh yeah, that's right. I was trying to like listen to a little bit of it.
Then come on down for the grand reopening of Big Al's Robo Shack and Gaming Super.
I don't know, like, whose idea was just be like, what if you could just, like, if there was free space travel and you just listen to the radio? Like, who had that idea? Because I love them.
And how come they didn't bring it back for other games?
Yeah, how come nobody contacted them again?
It's like that little meme where it's like, how is it? Like, walks in, drops a really great idea, fucking leaves.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't say a word.
Refuses to
leaves.
elaborate and then leaves.
Yeah.
Hello? I'm sorry. I was only trying to help. Back up. Don't make me use force.
Training, there is no real one mascot for Sony, and they've even said they don't really want a mascot. So like, their biggest characters all kind of encompass PlayStation as a brand, but no one of them is actually the mascot. So it's really hard to consider. I mean, as fans of certain franchises, you can, I suppose, consider whoever to be a mascot, but I mean, that's just going to start a whole other ass debate amongst people. They're really trying to build up their brand as like more of like a unit of franchises and series than like any one person carrying it the majority of the way. And Nintendo does have their franchises too, but the one kind of carrying them is Mario. And if it wasn't Mario, then it'd be Legend of Zelda, so they would be like the literal face of, you know, Nintendo. But then so it's like Mario, and then Zelda, and then like everyone else, you know. Like it kind of goes in tiers, but they'll always have their own, you know, Nintendo company images where you've got like all those classic characters there, but when you boil it down, Mario does kind of carry it, and then Zelda follows. And don't even get me started on Microsoft. I don't even. So I suppose Master Chief, and that's about it.
Multiple selves? How else would we get anything done around here? Just record your actions using the time pads and initiate them while the present you moves on to do other things. Time pads can be a little tricky.
It was almost Blinks. Yeah, until they realized, oh wait.
Puzzles.
They realized, oh wait, platformers aren't really a thing now, and then they fucking they killed Blinks. They put him down. They fucking euthanized him. Never to be heard from again.
Quite an ingenious security device. Did you design it? Are you kidding? Orvis was the smart one.
Why haven't they ported Star Fox? Because they haven't been able to get it right since 64.
That way you can do everything they did.
In most people's eyes, that's what they would say.
Everyone should just play SFA. Just do it. Oh my god.
It is really sad. It's like some of it makes sense from like a very like. Well, it could be from many standpoints, like a consistency standpoint, a fan perspective or reception standpoint, a dev perception or perspective standpoint. Where the vast majority amongst both, again, kind of talking about, you know, fans versus the people making, whether it's devs or studios for movies, like general consensus kind of, there's majority and minority, and the majority obviously in anything, you know, in that sense, will dictate kind of within a franchise what's like popular, what's hated on. Sometimes it's just really sad because yeah, like the classic stuff. Oh, you know, nobody likes Crash the Titans Men Over Mutant, which is a big fucking lie because there are many people out there who do. I'm one of them. Things like that, or you know, Legend wasn't good or anything like that, or like you know, then there are certain things like within Nintendo stuff or whatever where it's like, as much as Miharu and other people really do love Star Fox Adventures, it's a black sheep game because it doesn't play like any other Star Fox game. And so therefore, because of all the shit that it went through, people tend to not really like it and try to write it off, and Nintendo themselves try to write certain things off like Crystal and all them.
What's up, Mario? Let's do it. Let's do the thing.
That's Mario's new catchphrase. Says, let's do the thing. I'm a cook of the pizza.
I'm a cook of the pizza. I want to hear Orvis say, "Here we
go!" And then fucking fall. Who the hell was Blinks? Yeah, exactly. Trigger. Tab over onto Google and then just look it up. And that's all you need to know.
Blinks the Time Sweeper. It's a furry.
Yeah. Did you say it's a furry?
Yeah.
It is a furry.
It's a furry.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, it was Microsoft's attempt. It was them. I forget which studio did it, but that was their like first party attempt at trying to do. It was Microsoft's Crash or Microsoft's Mario or something. They were trying to have their own platformer mascot. The wonky gameplay just kind of didn't really make it feel too good, and they did try to they tried a sequel which is really obscure. Not too many people know about it. My friend Chase though loves Blimps the Time Sweeper. He says Chase says that if he had any decision for a Microsoft rep to make it into Smash Brothers, he would want Blinks. And I'm like, that would make sense because he's a cartoony character. He fits in the world and all that of Smash Brothers. He could be a really fun, unique character to play as.
Faster than light particle acceleration. Actually, I'm going to teach you how to hit things with a big stick. From time to time, various creatures find their way into the clock. A good caretaker protects the equipment at all costs. Yes, but what does the equipment do?
Well, I don't think John really did anything in terms of Star Fox Adventures. It just made people go Stairfax temperatures, but besides that, people already kind of formed their opinions on the game anyway.
Yeah.
It's just always going to be the black sheep.
Wonderful! But you can do better than that. Good form, my son. Now,
nice swing, good form.
Lay the smack down.
That's funnier every time I think of it.
Wait, why did you say that?
Because Orvis just said good form.
Oh.
So I was like,
so
nice swing, good form.
He said Goku, said Son Goku as his head slid across the car hood yet again.
Whoa. As his head slid.
He slid across the car. Not the hood, the top.
Good care of this place. But where will you be? This is your facility. No, my dear.
That's still one of the funniest edits I've ever seen. Just every chance they get, they just sneak that little shot in there. I wish the movie did that. It would have been really funny.
Just like a subliminal message.
I like after the fight's over and looks at Chi-Chi, he just does it again. For like no reason.
It's a pleasure to have you
He looks at Chi-Chi and says, "Nice swing, good form."
He said it's a secret. And
This is when they're training.
knows how to keep secrets. Yes, sir.
This is when they're making out passionately.
We have an orientation room that will tell
That's what it says when they're conceiving Gohan.
Oh no.
Terratropes are nasty little creatures. They feed on quantum energy, so they can see your past selves. Lousy hypersonic brainwave scrambler must... Nicely done, sir. I would have helped you out, but
Not everyone was trying to compete with Mario. People were trying to compete with Crash too. Crash tried to compete with Mario. Sonic competed with Mario before Crash. Krog tried to compete with all of them. Ty tried to compete with all of them. So basically, if you make a platformer character, the lesson to be learned here, if you make a platform character, like nowadays it's laughable to say this, but because they really thought they had something on their hands back in the day. So I'm talking more like as a lesson that should have already been learned from the past, but like, because it already happened, but like, if you make a platformer character and your tagline is "Move over, Mario," "Get lost, Crash," you've already lost, because
yeah,
none of those that said that and try to have that attitude did remotely well enough to even be considered among Crash or Mario. Who's among Crash or Mario? The ones we've been talking about: Jack, Sly, Ratchet, others that have, you know, Rayman, even Pac-Man's games with Pac-Man World. Oh yeah, Bubsy tried to do it too, and he failed utterly. He just utterly failed, completely and totally.
yeah. It's like, I really wish that, you know, those early 2000s platformers wouldn't have done that, because it's just like, okay, this is why you failed.
They got too big for their britches, and they thought that they were going to be really popular, and then.
Because didn't Ty do that too?
Yeah, I mentioned Ty.
Yeah.
Ty's the one that had the ads where it was Sonic, Crash, and Spyro in the body cast.
Right.
And with Croc, he like ate Crash and Mario and like Lara Croft or something. I don't know why Laura was in there. Lara, I don't mean for it to sound like I'm saying Laura. That's kind of what it sounds like, Lara Croft. But I don't know why she was included in that. She's not a platformer character per se.
Whoa! Even Orvis had trouble with that one once.
Bubsy thought he was cool, but he was fucking annoying. Nobody liked him.
Negative, but I will cross my fingers for you. Temporal recording.
And then through sheer, I don't know what the fuck, I guess memes, he came back for 2 more games and they still didn't make an impact on anything. So it was just money wasted in the long run. I have no idea why they brought that motherfucker back for like 2 games. And they try to keep it up with the whole like, yeah, I'm cool, watch out, Sonic. It's like, what?
Temporal recording initiated.
I wouldn't say I was impressed. I was dumbfounded. I was like, how? Why? I didn't play, what was it, Claws on Fire or whatever it's called, but I was forced to play Woolly Strike Back as a punishment stream. Because my friend G-Man Rocks and I did a dual stream little speedrun race of Insane. Crash 1, I think it was. I forget which. I lost both times. We didn't get to do Crash 3, but we did Crash 1 and Crash 2. So we dual streamed our different perspectives, but we were in the same call, so you could hear us from both streams, but you could be on whoever's side you were rooting for to win.
Yeah.
The punishment was to play the punishment was to do a punishment stream and play a shitty game. So I had to play Woolly Straight Back. Although, so in me doing that, I mean, obviously I'll say that it is a better game than Bubsy 3D, because I own that too. I own Bubsy 3D. But in the long run, it's just a really bland ass game. I can only imagine that the sequel was a lot of the same. There was really no point to bring them back. And they're short. Will You Straight Back was a really, 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 really short game. Like, it was literally the length of a few levels. It was the length of like an entire, you know how like in Mario, you've got like maybe 8, 9, 10 levels in a single world, but you have 8 worlds? Bubsy only had the one. The one world. So it's like, why did you waste all that time, all that money, all that effort, all this marketing for a character no one wanted to see back? With what looked like the promise of maybe something a little bit better than what he was last, you know, what he last had, but it's still not anything spectacular. the fact that Bubsy got to return before Klonoa did will never not be an injustice. I'm just hoping that because Fantasy Reverie finally managed to pull in some huge numbers for Klonoa, which has never been the franchise's strong suit. They've always had low sales numbers.
Yeah.
Despite the first 2 games being fucking amazing. I'm just hoping that this means maybe a Klonoa 3, maybe more remakes. Maybe they'll dip their toes into the GBA games again. I still need to beat Dream Champ tournament. I just realized I'm like not even halfway through it. Empire Dreams was pretty solid. It was a pretty good game.
Am I interrupting?
I'm rehearsing my epic romantic
space opera.
Silly me, sir. I just thought it prudent to tell you Clank is en route to the...
Sorry, I'll just shut up and let you do your thing.
Sorry, I just know all these lines.
Yeah, I like when you get into your little, I'm gonna quote this mode.
Even if I don't say it out loud, I'm still doing the actions and like mouthing it.
I can imagine you are.
I was cursed by a tribe of gypsy ninjas when I was a kid. I know that. I was in that tribe of gypsy ninjas.
Okay.
Very good, sir. In the meantime, might I suggest engaging the safety so as not to kill any more troops?
It's not even loaded, you moron! Look!
It was the cutest thing when we were watching Lion King together. You did like the whole fucking movie.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Ratchet, work here. I've been doing a bit of investigating, and it looks like Azimuth lives in a decommissioned mining robot on Torin 4.
Yeah, Klonoa barely got any marketing. That was a big problem. With it got small little trailers here and there, but nothing that like was really like hype worthy, which sucked. But again, Klonoa damn near broke Steam before the console release came out, so like that was already a good sign. Like, I think literally Steam wasn't functioning to its fullest that day because so many people were downloading Klonoa. At the same time, they did the same thing with Pac-Man. With Repack, they didn't really market it too much. It's like, don't put minimum effort into these remakes if these are things that people have wanted to see for like a very fucking long time. Especially with someone as obscure as Klonoa, like this is finally the time that you can like make him relevant again, because of all the platformer characters that are getting either remakes or new games in their series or whatever, and that they're all getting second chances. Don't fucking blow it with like barely any marketing. Because even Spyro, when compared to Crash, didn't get as much marketing. Spyro got enough trailers, like the trailers that needed to come out, the announcement trailer, the launch trailer, a couple little teasers here and there. But you know, obviously the big thing with Crash's marketing was the Crash suit guy bringing him back and doing all the crazy weird shit with him. But being a Crash advocate, I have to say, of course, I fucking loved it because it makes him, you know, it keeps him relevant. It keeps him, you know, there's a pacing for how much new shit they show. When it was back when it was Insane, it paced out how much shit we got to see, and just the new shit they were coming up with to, you know, to do with the Crash suit guy.
Yeah.
But when a new Spyro game does come out, it needs to have all the fucking marketing.
So would you say these space sections are or aren't half-baked? Well, first of all, the one thing you gotta know about me is I don't use terms like half-baked. I don't know who used that term, but I don't use terms like that. I don't even really know what it means.
You use Kamimi? Okay.
We'll be right back.
So what would you say?
I think they're fine. They're kind of fun. They're relaxing. What do you mean halfway finished? They're just small little... They're little, like, mini planets. What else are they supposed to be?
Quark, come in. I just landed on Torrent 4. Do the Fongoids know where I can find Azimuth?
Chief, something says he supposedly lives in the ruins of Volgrum Pass.
And Tabriz, I don't think you use those terms either. What I think you do is you watch reviewers, you take what they say, and then ask if I think the same thing. In which I sometimes have to say no, because I don't use words like those other people do.
Whoa, look at that explosion. Is that an explosion? Whoa. I'm behind in the stream, sorry.
Oh.
Well, that would be the reason why they brought Klonoa back, was the anniversary. That's the majority of these characters got something because of their anniversary. I actually honestly don't know if that's why Bubsy came back. I don't know if it hit 20 years at that point. In fact, no, it came a little after. Wait, when did it come out? I don't fucking remember. No, maybe it was 20 years. Bubsy also came out in 96.
No, I really don't want to do that, actually. I don't think that is fun. I think it's really annoying to ask if people think the same way as somebody else. It's like that's almost saying that, like, you can't have your own opinion.
Yeah, plus she's had that happen to some degree before, too. It's just not a good look. It's not a good thing to do to people. Especially like-minded people in the same community or something.
If I do think the same way, I'll be like, yeah, they summed it up pretty well. But then, like, I still wouldn't use the exact same words, probably.
It kind of takes away from having your unique take on it.
Yeah.
Because even if it's the same, even if it's the same opinion, there are still things that they. I mean, you're still to word it differently.
mean to talk to you. I mean to talk to you. But what do you know?
Yes, I have heard such a name before. It is said he arrived on a ball of fire, a comet perhaps, and claimed the Bernilius sector for his own.
I love these guys. They're awesome.
Say hello.
Oh my god. Nene. Nene.
Yeah, I forgot. They have really cool voices in these games. Then Rift Apart is like, hello, I'm a man.
Yeah, they don't sound the same.
He
They're
said,
not,
we're
like,
inclusive. If you're gay, that's okay.
If you're gay. Ribbit's like, huh?
Yeah. Because that's well, not even Ribbit. No, Clank should be the one going like, okay, because he was like about to fix her, something about like.
Well, sure, but like
What's the
even
context of
Ribbit
that?
like should be like, okay, like.
Yeah.
I don't think she'd like. What are you talking about? That's not what I'm here for.
Fuck yeah.
They both be like that. They'd be like, what are you talking about? I didn't say
Is he
anything.
here or not?
I didn't say anything about anyone's possible homosexuality.
Ooh, that's pretty homo. Not gonna lie, that's pretty opposite of heterosexual, my guy.
I'm not gay. I'm not gay, Dan.
Must believe me. Listen, I'll feel your ass whenever you want me to, but I'm not gay.
Listen, Dan, I would ravage that asshole, but I'm not gay.
Ratchet, come in. One of the Bongoids just told me about a race of criminal warriors who apparently hate the variant. They're called Arcturians.
Someone.
Quark, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Normally, I'd agree with you, but the Bongoids insist that I leave as soon as possible. They even paid the Agorians to come pick me up. Isn't that nice? Keep me posted.
Okay. No, don't do that.
Here's a really wacky, quirky, cute little Ratchet and Clank question for y'all. What color bolts is your favorite?
What
is your favorite
bolt?
color for the bolts? Because in some games they like glow like a purple, they'll glow like a yellow, they'll glow
yeah,
like a generic white.
I thought you meant like the special bolts. I was like, oh, I like the gold ones.
There's special bolts.
Well, yeah, like the gold bolts, platinum bolts,
like
titanium bolts, whatever.
The platinum bolts?
I think so. I think they're platinum bolts.
I just mean regular little
Silver
currency bolts, but
bronze
like
bolts. Okay, there's no problem.
what is this, a race?
Diamond bolts.
Rainbow bolts. Okay, I meant the main collectible bolts with like their little glow. Which
Right,
glowy glow do you like? There are a couple that are different.
I like these ones because they're really shiny.
Mm-hmm.
I like the original ones, but they're really hard to see.
Yeah, because I don't think they're glowing at all.
No, they don't
have a
glow
glow
at
to
all.
them. When did the glow start? Was that in the second game?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Because sometimes they're a bronzish. They're not fully gold. They're like a bronzish color. Some of them they're like a silver color.
Oh yeah, they're platinum in Going Commando. And they're titanium in UIA. It's an outsider. You're an outsider. Ooh.
They say, you ain't from around here, are you? Ratchet's like, what?
I am not getting the Dynamo of Doom because the 6-axis is weird.
You can wiggle your controller around. Like you just don't care.
Like you just don't care.
Without a care in the world. Since we're out of spoopy season, we must now watch Dumbo, and you cannot stop this.
Actually, we could literally watch anything else.
Yeah, but we should watch Dumbo, is what I'm saying.
Okay, we should also watch other things.
I mean, we're going to get to them because you're always in control, but I want to watch Dumbo.
You're always in control.
I'm like, let's watch a little more Soul Eater, and you're like,
Let's watch a little bit of that, and I'm like, I don't think so. Where did that guy go? He went nowhere.
where are you putting these little fellers?
I'm putting them in the battery spot.
Putting them in the bucket.
Put Leon in the bucket. I want you to continue your playthrough.
Oh, I was like, what?
Your playthrough of RE4.
Of Reefer.
Reefer.
I want you to continue to do Reefer while I watch. We do have plans. We're not going to abandon it.
But when?
I don't know, because we've got other things that we got to finish up. Got to finish Splatoon 3. And Punch Out.
Punch Out. Actually, I think I like the tornado launcher a little bit better. Just a little bit.
I'm over here thinking to myself, I wonder what's for dinner.
I wonder what's for dinner. I don't know what I'm doing because my parents are going out to dinner and oh my god, that guy pushed me off the edge. What a... what? Excuse me,
What a
Vullard.
dick. What a dick. I don't know what we're doing for dinner.
That guy just... he didn't like me. He just went... Phew!
I just saw it.
The hell was with that guy?
You were like, wee. Let's go play in the love. Let's go play in love.
He's like, no. Get off my turf.
Should remove that guy and it'll be funny. Don't get me started, Ray. You started. You don't want to hear me once you get me started. On fucking PS3, Xbox 360 era. Because once you get me started, it's going to be very hard to make me stop.
If I could trace back to the moment that I got started.
To the moment! I wish I had that accent for reals.
I
wish I had many accents.
I got started.
just do that every so often randomly. Whose speech is this? It's epic. It's from Game Grumps.
You know what? Weapons don't work very well against these guys, but my wrench does. Which I guess is a weapon, but not a normal weapon.
Do you want a hecka hot epic gamer take from me? Because everyone loves those.
Yeah.
Let me just get my big huge cigarette right here. Remember when Game Grumps used to be funny?
Oh.
That's not original. Everyone says that.
PS3, Xbox 360 era games look ugly. I don't think this looks ugly. I think this looks really good.
No, it was everyone trying to find out, you know, how to push the boundaries. It's just that those consoles are very hard to work with. But let's say the results aren't all bad, because definitely
it's a little bit saturated in some areas, but I think it's pretty good.
Because a lot of games within this era do kind of experience frame rate dips and stuff like that, but like, what game doesn't really have that? I mean, there are plenty of games you could probably list that don't have it, but point being, this was a very experimental era. I mean, each era in its own right is heavily experimental, but it's like, it's one of those things where like you find success in doing one thing and it's super fucking huge and everyone loves it. So then when a new thing comes that you're gonna jump on, like people expect the same amount of, you know, the same standards and the same quality, and sometimes it can be better. Other times it could be like maybe a half and half. So like PS1, you know, comes and everyone fucking loves it. So many thriving franchises and starters, and people got their starts on PS1 and stuff like that, and Naughty Dog and all them. Then you get PS2, which arguably was better. It was franchises evolved. Some did anyway, you know.
Oh shit! Fuck! Oh, my depth perception is so off.
And you know, stuff like that. PS3 era comes, and just because of how the hardware was, you know, essentially overhauled, kind of, you know, people just, from the stories I've heard anyway, you know, not any personal stories, but just from the things that, you know, you can look up or whatever, apparently it was just kind of hard to develop games for those consoles. I mean, look at the Wii U too. It's a little in between PS3 and PS4, or like 360 and Xbox One, but the Wii U was also said to be hard to develop for because of what it was trying to do with its hardware. Plus that era was the beginning of what we have now, like with the DLC and updates via online connectivity and online capabilities, being able to play online and stuff with friends and people from way far away and whatnot. It was just the birth of, and then everything went digital, so you don't have memory cards anymore and stuff like that. Trying to figure all that shit out. It's probably a little too ahead of its time.
Whoa.
Makes you wonder if there was like a PS 2.5, maybe like, before the PS3. I wonder if there would have been more time to kind of like really iron those kinds of things out.
Now I've got you. It can't be. You're Caden's son.
Forgive me. General Alistair Azimuth, Forbolt Magistrate of the Lombax Praetorian Guard, Elder Councilman for the Center for Advanced Lombax Research, and you, my dear boy, look just like your father.
I have so many questions. How did you know him?
Caden and I were good friends. He was a great Lombax, smart as they could come. He was the first outsider to theorize that the Great Clock even existed.
And this clock, you think Clank's in there?
Clock is a rather crude translation of the runes on Quantos. Specifically, they say Keeper of Time. But yes, I suspect he is. You see, according to Fungoid lore, the Zoni are the guardians of time. If your friend is connected to them, he must play some part in its operation. Now, where are those blasted things?
Wait, I thought my father was the only one to stay behind when the Lombaxes left.
I think lasts forever. Except for tardigrades. It can, those motherfuckers can, survive in space. So if our planet blows up in a couple billion years, they're still around, they'll just inhabit somewhere else. Not that don't mean much for anything, but probably could happen.
Back straight, legs bent slightly at the knee, and engage.
All right.
Wonderful. Well, take him for a spin. If you want to turn, just shift your weight. The boosters will take care of the rest.
All right. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna mess with some settings. Mark, talk to the people while I mess with some stuff.
Fuck! Hi everyone, how's it going?
Fuck!
Oh no, now I'm being left to entertain the masses. This is sure gonna be this is sure to be a shit show. Hi everyone. Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the stream. I am Supercut Player 1995. Everyone go watch Jaltoid Media. Because they're funny. Watch them play Shantae's Booby Fiesta.
Booby Fiesta.
That's just what they call the Shantae games. I'm trying to think. Now that you're putting me on the spot, I can't think of topics to talk about.
That's okay. Okay.
Do you like when Spyro do the funny or when he die?
No, it's all good. Okay, I can't mess with the settings anyway because I'm actually streaming. I have to wait till I stop.
What are you trying to do?
I was trying to see if I could change the FPS value.
Why do you want to make Ratchet a first-person shooter?
Not that.
Looks like you've got the basics down. Now let's try something a bit more challenging, like this hover boot course.
What to General Man? He needs something on his head. I'm so sorry. I'm very, very, very sorry. He looks bald.
I don't care what you say.
He needs like a little hat or something. Or like a little hair tuft. He has a chiseled man face. No, I don't think they've been active in a while. I haven't seen them in a while. Their stuff's still up, but I don't know what they're doing now. Conversely, go watch 10 More Minutes. They're pretty funny too. They have a lot of good Let's Plays.
Learner than your father. I have one final test set up over there. Are you ready? All right, follow me. And now for your final exam. We'll test your speed as well as your skill. You must complete the course and grab every flare.
What was I for Halloween? Nothing.
If you succeed, I'll just let you keep those hover boots.
I literally
for 24 hours.
I just wore a cape and some gloves, and that's it.
I was gonna say for 24 hours she vanished. It was nothing. And that means you were a little vampire girl. Cape and gloves, or whatever. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree?
Finest hover booting I've ever seen. Nice work.
Sure.
Cute little vampire Miharu.
Ion coils might be a bit rusty.
You didn't bring your little cat ears out?
No, I told you I couldn't find them, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us where the clock is, huh?
Nefarious would be foolish to reveal that information to us, no matter what we do to him. But we have an advantage I did not have before.
Dang it.
Contact inside the clock.
Clank?
I was a wizard. Harry.
General?
I was a wizard.
This way?
No thanks. I brought
Then you watched the first Harry Potter because of Hagrid.
I know. We tried to watch them, but they're not on HBO Max anymore.
Oh yeah, fuck! God damn it. Stupid fucking HBO. Take down our Harry Plopper.
Thrustmaster!
Oh no.
The Thrustmaster!
Ballbuster. Bust your opponent's balls. No, it was not Harry Potter. I know, I was just making a joke. I was not the fabled Harry Potter.
Fabled.
The legendary man himself. I was not the boy who did the thing.
Boy, did the
Yeah, I found one once back on Murdergraw. Too bad the hula force.
So apparently, speaking of Harry Potter, people are leaving little socks in the place where they filmed Dobby's death.
Oh my god.
And then whoever owns that land or whatever was like, please, for the love of God, stop putting socks
Stop
all
putting
over our
socks
floor.
Here. For fuck's sake, stop leaving socks.
General, come in. I just landed in Axiom City. Where are you?
I'm afraid I've run into a bit of trouble. I've had to make a slight adjustment to our plan.
What kind of adjustment?
Attention, citizens. Rogue Lombax Alistair Azimuth has been spotted within city limits. Troopers have been mobilized for your protection.
Don't worry, I have a plan. Just get to Nurok's Plaza and wait for me to make contact.
Did you know that you have to jump over the gap and hold circle to use the swing shot?
Did you know?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
Did you know? No.
Did you know though? No.
Ratchet and Clank, but Ratchet has no ears.
That would look funny. And also horrifying.
Ratchet and Clank, but Ratchet has little human ears. You like that image?
No. Not particularly.
Ratchet and Clank, but Insomniac tries to take as much time as possible to gaslight you into believing Ratchet was always Rivet's color palette.
Whoa, interesting.
No, guys, seriously, he was always white with blue.
No, guys, seriously, he always looked like this.
It's true, I drew a crayon drawing of it when I was 5.
A crayon drawing?
It means it's real.
Look, it's real!
G1 Ratchet. Ratchet and Clank, but Mikey Kelly took over for Clank.
Oh, for Clank? I'd be like, what?
What if Mikey Kelly did all of Clank's lines and just put a robotic filter over him?
But Ratchet and Clank, but they switched voice actors.
But instead of the actual, instead of what you're thinking of when we say that, which is for Clank's voice to be coming out of Ratchet and vice versa, it's David Kay's best attempt at a Ratchet voice and Mikey Kelly's best attempt at a Clank voice.
Right.
Which would make it sound even more uncanny. Ratchet and Clank, but Clank dies and his consciousness is transferred into Ratchet's spaceship. It's a good one. Ratchet and Clank, but Clank is Cranky from Thomas and Friends.
What?
It's a good one. You should look up who that character is, and then just imagine it's Clank, because that's a really funny image, actually. It's really weird that you say that, because I don't know why, but I was just thinking about Thomas and Friends earlier today when I was at work.
It's like, don't ask me why, but I was thinking about Thomas and Friends.
No, because I was thinking about how I still find it bizarrely fascinating that they got fucking George Carlin to narrate the series for a while there. When I think, but I don't know if I don't know if this is how the story goes,
Oh, God.
but I think
Oh, Jesus Christ.
my lord, I think he took the job because whoa, oh, that sucks. I think he took the job so he can show that he can be like his range is kind of diverse, and it's not just he's profane and does like mature shit all the time with his material or whatever. Like he can actually, you know, like have some like family friendly stuff under his belt too.
Yeah.
But then after him, for in America anyway, after the American version of Thomas, after George Carlin, it was Alec Baldwin. And Alec Baldwin, I think, was a lot more intense with his narrations. So I was thinking about the episode that I don't think it was Cranky's debut, but he was a big focus in this one episode where he was just causing trouble for everybody. And then there was a one stormy night he fucking fell over.
And then he fucking fell over.
He really did. He fell over.
Thomas
it was funny.
Came down and he fucking fell over.
He fucking fell over. See, I often forget that Ringo Starr was the very first one for us, right? For the American version, because I don't know if he did the UK version too. It was almost like fucking exclusively British people for the UK version, as you know, as it would have it, because that makes sense. But I don't remember. I didn't grow up with Ringo Starr era, Thomas. I grew up with George Carlin era.
I didn't grow up with Thomas, so...
Yeah, sucks for you.
I grew up with other things.
Yeah. Cranky Bug. I grew up with more intellectual stuff and not that childish shit.
I grew up with Reboot. Fuck all of you, I grew up with Reboot.
Okay. I'm sorry that I didn't have whatever channel that appeared on.
It was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I didn't have Cartoon Network.
What did you have?
Not Cartoon Network. Not Nickelodeon. I was a PBS kid growing up.
Did you have Disney Channel?
No. Well, we got Disney Channel, but I never really watched it.
Because Disney Channel was the one thing I didn't have when I was a kid.
Instead of Disney Channel, I watched Disney's One Saturday Morning. That's where I saw Doug and all that shit.
Oh.
So that predates Disney Channel. That was like exclusively a 90s thing, so it only ran from like what, 97 to 99 or 96 to 99 or some shit. Like literally One Saturday Morning ended right before the 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, or it ran for about a year or two after. Like it probably ended around 2001, if not 99. Over here where I live, it's PBS Kids was Channel 18. In the mornings when you come home from school, or even before we'd leave for school, I used to watch JJ the Jet Plane. I remember that very vividly. I don't know if Theodore Tugboat, if I watched that on TV, but I think I had a VHS tape or two of it.
I used to watch Kids WB when I got home from school.
Here you go.
Kids WB. I watched it on Saturday mornings.
Well, yeah, that too, but like they also had it in the afternoons.
And thanks again for all your help, Lombax.
Not for me. I don't remember that being a thing for me.
I remember them having it in the afternoons.
Maybe
Like it was definitely WB. I'm not sure if it was like all kids WB, but like.
I don't remember. I only remember watching Kids WB on Saturday mornings.
Attention. Commuter Starship 4006, non-stop to Meridian City, has been delayed. We apologize for any inconvenience.
There's a really good Thomas video y'all should watch, and it's from Tomska, the guy who created ASDF for ASDF movie.
ASDF.
According to him, the official pronunciation is ASDF, but I say ASDF. I'm sure everyone says ASDF movie.
I say ASDF.
Yeah, that's the official pronunciation.
I say ASDF.
Ass stiff ass.
ASDILF.
Oh no. Ass dilf.
ASDILF.
The dilf's ass.
Alright. It's like, alright, we're getting somewhere.
Oh. You just didn't have Kids WB. I'm sorry you had to endure that trauma in your life. That hole in your heart.
Kids WB was the best.
That Warner Brothers logo shaped hole in your heart. Kids WB was fucking awesome. We also had the Fox box. Remember the Fox box rocks? That TMNT, Ultimate Muscle.
I don't think I ever actually watched
Kirby.
it, but like I think I thought I had that channel. Cause what was it? Cause I used to watch like I think I used to watch like Gargoyles on Fox or something. Because the only other channel that I know that had Gargoyles was Disney Channel, but I didn't have that when I was a kid, so it must have been that.
I remember when Kids WB briefly had Johnny Test. Actually, I say briefly, but no, they had it for a while. But I still appreciate the first season theme song. I have no idea why they changed it. Well, I know why. It's because the one everyone knows isn't the original. Just for chat, because I know you know, because we listen to them. But I think it was because it underwent like a different studio or a different something or other, or because it was airing somewhere else and it was like a different something was different after season 1, and they for whatever reason that just meant that they couldn't use the original opening, or they decided to change it.
Where's that?
That's the one that stuck.
Where's that battery ball? There's a battery ball or something. There it is.
Oh, was Digimon on Foxbox? I didn't remember that. I didn't watch too much of Foxbox. I just knew some of the shows that were on there. Especially because it'd be jointly advertised, like with stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh would advertise it. I think Yu-Gi-Oh, I want to say Yu-Gi-Oh was on it. I can't remember though. Ultimate Muscle was on it.
I mean, maybe that's what I watched in the afternoons, but I thought it was like Kids WB, or at least like the WB in the afternoons. Cause like, I remember watching Jackie Chan Adventures and Yu-Gi-Oh like in the afternoon.
And then there was Ultimate Muscle, TMNT, Kirby Right Back At You. Those were all in the Fox box. But then the Fox box merged with Kids WB, I think, because then all those shows were also on Kids WB. As well as, 4Kids later, because then you had, once the WB underwent, the change to CW, then there was, the Kids WB got changed to CW 4Kids.
Right. Oh my god.
could use a little help.
My blaster runs hot.
My blood runs cold. I don't know. Sorry. Oh yeah, Pokemon. Oh yeah, that's around the time that Pokemon moved to Cartoon Network, which sucks. I mean, I couldn't watch it anymore. And then they started doing weird shit with it. And the
Pokemon was on
actors...
Cartoon Network like long before I started watching it on Kids WB, I think.
Well, but then it fully, I think, all they would do was just show reruns, if even that, on Kids WB. Once it went to Cartoon Network, it was basically there on Cartoon Network. In terms of all the new shows that like Diamond and Pearl and all that shit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get to see any of that. So by the time I found out that like Ash's voice actress changed, all that shit, I was like, what? And I was like, this shit's just different from what I remember watching.
I started watching Pokemon on Cartoon Network because it was on Toonami, I believe.
Actually, he's a data miner at
And
Industries.
then like the Johto stuff I watched on Kids WB. Well into like a little bit into Hoenn, and like Hoenn is where I stopped watching.
We need a way inside Pollux Industries.
CGI cell shaded cartoon about a music band. On Kids WB. I don't remember that. Wasn't allowed to watch Cartoon Network until circa 2007 because Eddie said shut up this one time. That's sad. That's some stripped out shit. I never understood that.
Yeah.
I don't know why parents are so fucking... Okay. There wasn't very much that I was restricted from watching. The only thing I remember, and it was more of a suggestion rather than a you cannot watch this, was like Family Guy. And one time we put on this Carlos Mencia special, and he got real, just in terms of cussing. Just there was a lot of cussing in one particular part. Sort of kind of near the beginning. We're just like, damn, okay, that's a little too much. Now it's still like probably like 14 or something. That's a little too much. And then we turned it off. That's like pretty much the only restrictions I've ever had. I don't get when parents are like, Pokemon's demonic, you can't watch it.
I don't think I ever had any like restrictions. Like literally you can't watch this. It was always like the only time that stuff ever happens is like my mom's like, you can't watch this in my presence. Like if I'm not here, like you could watch it.
Okay. Well, what kind of stuff
she
would that
doesn't
be?
because she doesn't like when I like watch things with cursing in it.
Okay. Well, that's
So
like
I
cranking
just,
up like a YouTuber on blast.
Yeah. So if I'm watching like, I don't know, if I'm watching like the RE4 playthrough or TVFP, like, because they say fuck a lot, so she'd be like, don't watch that. Because she doesn't want to hear that. But like,
that's when you put your headphones in.
yeah. So I can watch whatever, as long as like she doesn't hear the swearing.
I know they had an evil rival band. I don't think it was CGI, but it sounds like Jim and the Holograms, but that's something completely different. It's not. I don't think it was ever on Kids WB. I don't remember what that. I don't know what that was on. That wasn't CGI, so that's the only thing I can think of that even remotely fits what you're talking about. Yeah, it's not CGI though. And also, it's really old. Why is it really old? It's like mid-80s.
But yeah, I don't think I was like restricted from actually watching anything.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't think so.
Sounds simple enough.
Same thing with Family Guy, just because there's a lot of like cussing or whatever, or just I don't know the gratuitous jokes or whatever.
Cause like my dad would watch like Futurama and stuff, and like I would be in the room and it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I would watch I would watch stuff on Adult Swim. Like I watched Inuyasha when it was on Adult Swim when I was a kid because I had a TV. I always had TV in my room.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, "Oh, it's 3 a.m. I'm going to watch it." It was like on a school night. And... it's like I'm going to get up at 3 a.m. and watch Inuyasha because I was like a weeb.
You work for Pollux. Can't you call them off?
Hold on, I'll check. They said no. Attention, citizens of Axon City. It is from quiet mention that there is a second Lombax enlarged
Free phonics? I have no idea what the hell that is. That is completely foreign to me. I have no idea what that is. Never heard of it.
Phonics.
2000s Astro Boy series? I don't know any of this.
I don't know about that.
I know there's the old Astro Boy series and the Astro Boy movie.
I like the movie.
Because we have it on DVD. Moms in particular don't like swears. Even though I'm sure your mom probably cusses a lot and mine does too. Would you say your mom cusses quite often or
no?
Maybe. Really?
I mean, every once in a while I hear it, but like, no, not really. I wouldn't say often. If she does it where like literally nobody can hear her.
It was until recently that I learned that Astro Boy was the oldest anime ever made. I don't think it was the first though. Astro Boy is definitely included, but it's not the first.
God.
Momotaro. I don't know how to pronounce this. Aaron, I need your help. Here, I'm gonna just kind of copy paste this into the chat.
Momotaro?
Well, this whole thing, I want you to say this. Because it sounds better coming from you because you actually know how to pronounce everything.
Momotaro Umi no Shinpei.
That is the first feature-length animated film from Japan, so this can technically be considered the first anime from 1945.
Usually I have Clank to translate stuff like this.
Well, it was made in 94. It was screened in 95. And it's actually a sequel to something that came out back in 43. I suppose it wasn't feature length. So that predates Astro. I was going to say Astrobot. Astro Boy.
Astrobot.
I would love if Astrobot got an anime.
Astrobot Boy.
Astrobot Boy. Not to mention, around that time, shit was fucking either political or war-oriented.
Oh, damn, that was close.
Okay, I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. You.
Hey, Cyberfox.
Good work, Ratchet.
Hey, what about me? We're part of the same guild, aren't we?
You did well too, Jarvis. But I still need you to talk me through that last defense grid.
All right, General. Bring up a command prompt and type in override code 71218#7.
Got it. Thanks, Jarvis. This is it. Our only way into the building. Last chance to back out.
Age before beauty, General.
Wise guy, just like your father. Follow me! You made it. Come on. The main office is this way.
Attention. A bioscan reveals 2 Lombaxes in main server room. Mobilizing all units.
Blasted bioscans. You take the left, I'll cover the right.
Attention, employees. I have just learned.
All right, Chief.
The Lombaxes have infiltrated our company.
Try this! Sending in a proto-mantis. Ratchet, take cover! Clear. I think that's all.
Auxiliary units in server room. Repeat. Auxiliary units
Okay, I really need to stop doing that.
Has anyone calculated Ratchet's age? I don't think so. There's the sky burst. It's pretty weird.
Try this! They're on the opposite ledge. I'll distract them from here. You find a way to circle behind them.
I am trying to hurry.
Nice work. Couldn't have left a few for me.
Reward over consequence, right?
You're a fast learner. Come on, we're almost there.
Send everything you've got, Nefarious. It won't change a thing.
Does Rift Apart have any indication of how long it's been since Into the Nexus? Not really. I mean, it has some indication of how long it's been since, like, All for One, maybe?
If you intend to manhandle me, I'll have you know I am a level 60 wizard with melee ability.
Because, like, they mentioned it's been, like, many years since they've seen Nefarious, so...
Looks like there's an obsidian eye somewhere in Krill Canyon. I can't lock on any closer.
Greetings, my old friend. Been a long time. I'm thrilled you're here to witness my greatest triumph. And look, you've met the Elder. Pity the first Lombax you meet is the shame of his entire race.
So what is it this time, Nefarious? You still trying to turn everyone into robots? Or is it just good old-fashioned galactic domination?
Part of me wants to let you live long enough to find out. The other part really wants to kill you. You know, for old time's sake. Decisions, decisions, decisions.
Attention, BX-99 detected. Evacuate all stations.
Well, at least we know what he went with.
That thing will level the entire city just to get to us.
It doesn't exactly defeat the point.
I'll cover you from the air. You just find a way to stall it. Stall
I
it?
mean,
It's a
imagine if you were a wizard and you couldn't use your magic, what would you do? If you have melee ability, at least you can defend yourself.
How do I get myself into these situations?
Oh my god.
Ratchet, I'm inbound. My ion cannons aren't strong enough to pierce its shell, but they should lock up its circuitry for a few moments. That's your window to hover boot onto it. Ion cannons armed. Firing. Got it. It's stunned. Ratchet, jump onto it. Nice work. Scanning its skeletal structure now. Raritanium hull. Omniflux targeting system. Got it. It looks like each tentacle is held on by an exposed bolt on the hull. You'll have to rip off all 3 bolts. The bolt's exposed. Go for it. Good work. 2 bolts to go. The bolt's exposed. Go for it. The bolt's exposed. Go for it.
Okay.
Good job. You've crippled him. Hold on. I'm moving in. Latch onto my ship and I'll take you up top. Enemies, have your position. I'm moving in for support.
I'm back with a crap ton of Hershey's.
I was wondering what was taking you so long.
Oh. So I thought I had to do one thing, I had to actually do both things. Was not pleasant. I'm back.
Oh, come on. Oh my god. Fuck off.
What were y'all talking about?
We're just trying to, calculate Ratchet's age.
Oh. 16. I don't know. 6. What's up?
No, 5.
He's like 2.5. You guys want some rapper ASMR?
Sure.
No, I was actually gonna say I'll mute myself. I just grabbed a bunch of fucking little Hershey things. They're not kisses. They're the little like singular little bar things, like just
Yeah,
the little 4 chunklets. I grabbed a bunch, so you're gonna be hearing this for a while. Breathe in, breathe out, eat the chocolate.
Whoa.
What did you do for like an hour this went on?
I'd be like, please stop eating the Hershey's.
What if I wasn't even eating them? I was just opening them to admire them from afar.
How many did you get?
Let's see. 12.
Why?
Because we bought too much.
And?
Someone's gotta eat them. Wee, 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 wee. Oh, wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. That's when you left. I'm almost done. I got 2 more to go after this one.
Copy that. See you there.
And final one. Yay, they've all been unwrapped.
You unwrap them all first?
Well, I'll unwrap a few at a time, but right now I just happen to have unwrapped them all. Commence the eating.
Ratchet, come in. I'm setting a course for planet Lumos. It's in the Korthos sector.
Copy that. I've got the coordinates.
Just so you know, I'm sorry you had to go so long without another Lombax to talk to. If I'd known you were alive, I would have come for you. Just know that from this day forth, you have a family.
Alright. I'm gonna be right back.
Oh shit, I have to entertain the audience again. Hi guys.
Yes.
Okay. Hello peeps, how's it going? What candies did y'all eat for Halloween? What is your favorite Halloween candy? This tends, whenever we stream around, like before or after Halloween time, this tends to be the discussion. What candies do y'all like? Are you a fan of the Hirsch? Of the Reese's peanut butter cups? Because I love those. Chocolate! Give me some specific chocolates. Or not chocolates if y'all don't eat chocolate. I'm eating those little Hershey's, the ones that are the little singular, like, bar of 4 segments. I just grabbed a whole bunch of them from out of the bag. Our little candy bag we have in the kitchen.
Alright, well, if you got that, I got my bucket.
Your bucket. Put the candy in the bucket. What do you got?
Let's see. Kit Kat Thins. Dots. 1 regular Kit Kat.
Yeah.
1 Tootsie Pop. And 1, Caplico.
1 what?
Caplico. It's a Japanese candy. It's really good.
Oh.
I like these little, ice cream cone things.
That's interesting.
Mini Caplico. It's like basically, it looks like a very long ice cream cone. It's like wafery, and then it's got like a flavored top, like either milk or chocolate.
I fucking love Reese's. Peanut butter cups are so good. Yeah, I am both in the Hershey and Reese's category.
I like fruit candy. Like these dots.
Do you like the Starburst?
I love Starburst. I like Starburst, Skittles, Sweet Tarts.
Do you like all pink?
No.
What's the matter, Lawrence? Chicken?
Whoopsie, sir. Butterfingers.
Oh hell yeah, I got 3 limes in here. So good.
Yeah.
Our sentries are searching for their vessel's signature as we speak.
Unacceptable! I practically handed those squishies to you on a silver platter. How could you be so utterly
The Farius is so lanky.
It's good.
Ratchet or the Elder find the clock, our plans will be ruined! Your body will remain crushed and abandoned on Zorik. Is that what you want? I'm bringing in specialists! Cassiopeia!
Well, hello there.
Karina!
Starbursts are good.
And Leah.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
How about
Valkyries! Decades
how you
ago,
doing?
your colony was atomized in the era of a supernova. How would you like to have it back?
How do y'alls feel about Jolly Ranchers?
I love Jolly Ranchers.
I love the grape flavor.
Oh, the grape ones are good. Grape, cherry, and lemon.
I don't think I've literally had anything other than grape.
Oh, yes. 1 hypersonic brainwave scrambler, scrambled.
Not because I chose to, but because, like, those are just the only ones I've ever eaten.
Just use your helipad, sir.
In Spyro's case, Ray, it wasn't a retool, it was just a recast. That's the difference.
Always do today what you didn't put off yesterday. Nope, that wasn't it either. Yeah, well, it was something about doing stuff and when it should be done.
This way, sir.
They just toned his attitude a little bit down, and that just comes with the writing and the direction. But your point still kind of stands, is, I wonder why they didn't bring Angela back.
Rift repaired on engineering deck 13. Lockdown terminated.
You reckon it was an experiment on doing other characters of Ratchet's race before making the subplot about others that are of Ratchet's race?
Probably.
It provides temporal immunity for
And they
those
said,
of
well,
us who
shit.
protect time.
I don't know why we're not using Angela again, but make a new one. Make a new Lombax.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they had like a bigger idea, but they just didn't like go with it.
Possibly.
Temporal recording initiated. Temporal recording initiated. Temporal recording.
There are 2 types of candy I cannot wait to get for Christmas. Toblerone and those huge Hershey Kisses.
Large screen Crystal X display. VG 9800
Daddy
It's a sing-
Toblerone.
Take a seat, sir.
Toblerones have nothing to do with Christmas, but I personally, for myself, am associating them with Christmas because that's when I Christmas of 2020, I think it was, or 19, I can't remember, is when I oh hey, Silver Fox for $5. Candies
I've never
taste
had a
limit.
Toblerone.
They're good. I like them.
I don't think
Do you
we
like
could
candy with
find
nuts in them? Do you like candy with nuts in them?
Depends what kind of nut.
I don't know what kind of nuts Toblerone have, but
Like peanuts.
Hello and welcome to
they're really good. I like them.
Candy is tastier when it goes on sale after Halloween. You know what? I wanna find some Halloween candy. Cause like I didn't really get any for Halloween. We just got like these little Kit Kat things, and then I asked each on to bring true candy, and they brought dots. So those is what I have. And then like on Halloween, our neighbors happen to have a bowl of candy out, and I was like, okay, I'll go across and see what they have. And I just like I took a Kit Kat and a Tootsie Pop.
I took the whole box, the whole bag.
I just poured it into my bucket. But yeah, I know. I want to see if they have any candy on sale.
Conundrums on top of conundrums until one day a tiny rift in the continuum destroyed 83 celestial entities.
I still have some brownie bites left.
Was at an end.
Brownie boy.
I have brownie bites, and then I have these little like sticks. They're like chocolate covered like blueberry sticks. They're really good.
Give or take 50 feet. The clock would repair the rift and restore temporal normality to the universe. And that, my son,
I split I split 2 because it's a small little bar of 4 little segments. I split them in half. It's 2 segments and 2 segments. I stacked them on top of one another, and then with my finger, I essentially welded them together. Now it's a big brick of chocolate.
Did you ever get like, because we used to get like the big bars of the Hershey's, the milk chocolate and the dark chocolate, and then like I'd take a square of milk and a square of dark and just eat it together. So good.
All right. Let's go have some tea.
Like the XL bars, you mean?
Yeah, just like the big size bars.
Oh, king size, you mean?
Yeah, I think those were it.
Because there was the regular size ones, there was king size, and now I'm starting to see, because at my Vons, that's the only place I see them at. They have XL bars, and they're like double the size. They're pretty big. And my brother said that I forget which school he was at. I don't know if it was his elementary school or if it was high school or whatever. But one of the last fundraisers that he was a part of, he wanted to try and raise us enough to be able to afford, because you know how you get little prizes and shit. One of those prizes, one of the big tier prizes, was like a gigantic Hershey bar, and I was like, wow, pretty fucking sick. How big can you possibly make them? Jesus.
It's up to you to fix it. Go ahead, give it a try. Fix the ribs by focusing your chronoceptor's beam on each anomaly. You're doing quite well.
Temporal ribbon impact in 3.
Yeah, but aren't the Freedom Fighters, Ray? First off, those aren't Sega's characters, so they'd have to like actually get the rights, I think. Also, though, that's the least of Force's problems. Forces is riddled with all kinds of shit.
Temporal ribbon impact in 3, 2, 1.
Excellent work, dear boy. Now come. There's one more thing I want to show you.
God, why are the Clank puzzles in this game so fucking good?
When they fire at you, just swing your chronoceptor and give them a taste of their own medicine.
It's like, not only do you have like the time puzzles, but you also have like the
Is also handy for
like
reminding anything your enemies
stuff.
throw at you. I hope you don't mind, but I borrowed these figments from your subconscious.
Like the anomaly
Alright,
fixing.
figments, snap to it. You're a natural.
Anomaly.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh god.
Good show. It very much reminds me of a sport I read about once called baseball. I am very proud of you, XJ0461. And now, you're ready for the task ahead. Go forth and fix time. Save the universe. When you're ready, my chamber will be waiting. Program terminated.
Welcome back, sir. Are you ready to repair time?
Ready as I will ever be, But may I ask, what is...
Why don't they bring Sigmund back? I want them to bring him back.
That's the main
Sigmund.
Bring Siggy back. He's so cute.
inside it myself, but I hear it's the master switch for the entire universe. This is one of our planets. Your first task as senior caretaker is to repair the damage caused by Dr. Barry. Just meet me back here when you're finished.
Time anomalies detected on planet Quantum. Quantum restoration initiated. Quantum restoration terminated. Quantum restoration initiated.
They do own the rights.
Temporal ribbon inbound.
Well, still, that was the list of their worries. The game was still shit.
Temporal ribbon inbound in 3, 2, 1.
Nicely done.
said I will never get another season.
Temporal normality restored to planet Quantos.
That was amazing, sir.
Oh, Sadium.
Clock welders dispatched to primary chronosphere.
Satan. Not Satan. That would not be good.
Satan. Okay, let's see.
Temporal recording initiated. Temporal recording initiated. Temporal recording initiated. Temporal recording initiated.
We still have ingredients to make another cake, and I really want one.
Don't.
Cake is so good. I still need to
Cake
make
is
you
so
a bun
good, I
cake.
say, as I eat 12 Hershey bars.
Yeah. I still need to make you a bun cake.
Junior caretaker took the long terminal date. Repeat. Junior caretaker took the long
You're like, well, it was for me.
You can. Though I'd prefer you make it the way I want it.
Well, yeah. Would you say you use apple cider?
Applesauce.
Sauce.
Temporal ribbon impact in 3, 2,
Sauce. Sauce.
temporal ribbon inbound.
It's added to the recipe or it replaces something?
It replaces, oil.
Oh, okay.
Warning. Waste leaker detected. Warning. Temporal ribbon impact in 3, 2, 1. Warning. Rift leaker detected.
Whee!
Warning. Rift leaker detected. Warning.
The hell is TMNT Future War? I've never heard of that.
Warning. Rift leaker detected. Warning. Rift leaker detected.
Do you have to press anything when you run over all those things, or do they? Do you just run over them?
No, you just hold R1.
Oh.
hate these guys, they're so annoying.
Temporal recording initiated. Initiating auto repair sequence on Fission Streamer Tango. Temporal recording initiated.
Oh, I see.
Here you go, sir.
I'm not a comic book person. I wouldn't know anything about any of that.
Junior caretaker to Solana Terminal 6.
Oh, what Ray's talking about.
Junior caretaker to Solana Terminal 6.
Twitch poses a good question. Let's hear your guys' thoughts on this. What quote from a game will forever stick with you?
Hold on, sir. I'll get the door.
I don't. So many.
Initiating auto repair sequence on Fission.
Just throw some out. Blurt some out.
I don't know. Like, there's so many in my head right now. That just like, I don't know. A lot of quotes from Spyro and what's from, you know, this game.
Hey, thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me. We could have found an easier spot to get stuck. Hold on.
Temporal recording initiated. Temporal recording initiated. Temporal recording initiated. Temporal recording initiated.
Oh, jeez. This is why I don't like the new blue checkmark thing on Twitter, because now people can make fucking troll shit, and now it's gonna be even harder to be like, wait, what? Oh, it's fake.
Oh yeah.
I saw a Spider-Man 4 thing. It was super not real. So being verified doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, what was the whole thing about the verification? Like, there was something going on with that?
Because Elon Musk changed it.
Please report to Grav Station 7 for Versafuse maintenance.
What did he change it to?
You can become verified for $8 a month.
Oh, interesting.
But it's not worth it anymore because anyone can do it and anyone can make up shit using that.
still alive?
Treyas, how you're doing so far with the game? How far are you?
Like, I don't want to say halfway, like almost halfway.
Temporal ribbon impact.
This game's like relatively short, isn't it?
I mean, like, if you think about it, in a way, I guess, but like, it's also kind of, it's also a lot of parts that you kind of forget about, and you're just like, oh yeah, I still have to do that.
Ribbon impact in 3, 2, 1.
Fix those anomalies by probing Uranus.
Probing Uranus. Really, Commander?
I still need to go back and do that save file over so I can save Thane.
I know.
The save's still there. I can go back and
yeah, you need to do that. So you can finally, like, you know, start on 3 again.
Yeah, I didn't get too far in 3, so I'm fine with restarting it if I can get a save on 2 where I've had everyone, you know, make it through. I even wrote down, I think that night I wrote down the people that I picked for each phase of the mission. And then I made the correct adjustment. Whoever, I think I'm gonna replace Thane with Yeris, because that's what I was going to do originally, and I was like,
yeah.
I don't know, and my gut feeling told me to go with Thane, and that's I think I watched a video too. I watched a video, I think, of somebody going through it. Oh no! I watched the speed run. That's what it was. And they were talking about who they usually go with for whatever.
Like, once you do it enough times, you just kind of, like, remember, it's like, okay, like, you go here, you go here.
I mean, I'm even surprised that I was basically on the money with my picks in terms of, like, because you've got, like, some options, but, you know, granted, if you've done everyone's thing, but, like, you know, with everyone that I had, I picked very well on that first go, just except for Thane.
Yeah.
He's the only one who died.
But then again, I was helping a little bit.
That is correct. I was using you for reference quite a bit. But I don't think you really ever told me, like, yes, go with them. I think I was, like, trying to, like, judge, and you were like, that makes sense. Versus being like, I think, right? Isn't that what we did? Or did you actually tell me, like...
I don't think I ever told you, like... I didn't tell you who I used until after you did it.
Yeah, I remember that.
I kind of, like... I basically reiterated what the characters were saying, like, okay, for this you need to do this, but then I was, like, basically telling you in a simpler way. It's like, okay, so for this, like, you need someone who's good in this area.
Oh, yeah.
General, come in. We've got hostile ships inbound.
I see them. They're Valkyries, expert pilots who work for Nefarious. I'll lose them in the asteroid belt. You just head for Lumos.
Did Rift Apart make any reference to the movie or game? Yes. Only one that I can recall, which is Drek is still a sheep.
Yeah.
In fact, the sheep that you sit next to, that Clank sits next to in that cutscene when you first go to Xerxes, that's supposed to be him. Or at least it's heavily implied, I guess.
But yeah, for the game not exactly, like, telling you what you needed to do and, like, which character was, like, the best in which, like, in which field exactly, because I don't think the game does quite a, like, it doesn't really do the best job at telling you, like what field characters are strong in. It sort of does. Like, if you look at their stats, it does. But, like, if you don't, then it's like, I don't know, it's like it's not the best at that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Captain is down! I repeat, Captain is down! All units, pull back to ORAF Minor!
What you think of that one, Pete? How a fine tune, worthy of a nice pint of ice-cold grog. Then pour out Slag a pint and grab me a straw. Slag can do with a spot of devil's merriment.
Is he saying some funny shit?
Yeah.
He's saying, today on the news.
Today on the news, everyone died.
What's after that? And no one was sad.
And no one was sad. This is stupid.
How are things with the Agorians?
Anyone in the chat who listens to Gorillas, do y'all think that Rusty Pete sounds like 2D?
Well, did you tell them you were a thrill-seeking warrior?
I think it does.
For battle?
I was trying to make friends. Listen. All right, Chief. What can we do you? You're all maxed out, Chief. I'm in a lot of trouble. They've entered me in their tournament. You gotta get me out of here.
All right, I'll be there as soon as I can. Just
I'm gonna get
find
some
place to hide
tacos
and stay put
for
until I get
dinner.
there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna end off here, so I can get something to eat.
Sounds yummy. What are you gonna have?
Well, my mom brought home some chicken katsu, so I'm probably gonna have that. However, I think I'll probably DoorDash something too. So, after this, we can, like, get our food real quick, and then, like, I'll just DoorDash something and I'll eat that while you, edit the video.
Okay. But she hasn't made them yet, so I'm not gonna be able to have. I'll probably just make sandwiches or something to tide me over. But what was I gonna say? Can you DoorDash me something?
No.
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 I don't think so. I've listened to a lot of Gorillas, but I like the few songs I've heard. You should definitely listen to Gorillas. They are good.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's Ratchet and
that's
Snatch.
gonna do it. That's gonna do it for the stream. Thank you all so much for joining, and happy 20th anniversary to Ratchet and Clank. My
Yay.
favorite PlayStation series. It's so good. I will play every single Ratchet and Clank game that I can get my hands on. I will try my best. I haven't played Secret Agent Clank or the mobile games or whatever, but I have tried my best to play all of them.
You're gonna play Full Frontal Assault?
Yeah, when, what's the incentive for that? I think 40K. 40K is for Full Frontal Assault. It's either 40 or 30, I can't remember.
Get her to 40K right now.
I can't remember. It's either 30 or 40. I'll play Full Frontal Assault. But yeah, I played every mainline game. So I'm proud of that at least.
Nice.
Do you have anything to plug?
Let's see. Tomorrow, if schedules are looking good, we're finally gonna get to Uncharted 3 on my channel. We're gonna return to it in our streams. Get that wrapped up because we're already nearing the end. We got a little bit more to do, but not too much more. As that becomes our Saturday stream series, I'm looking for something to play on Tuesdays, which may or may not be Crash Tag Team Racing. So we'll see.
Yes.
I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I really do want you on that one too, but seeing as you played it not too long ago, I don't know if you wanted to commentate on that with me. So I didn't know.
I can do that.
It is on Tuesdays though. So unless we wanted to there's not going to be a real way to balance Uncharted with CTTR. We'd have to like literally either flip between them or just wait until we finish Uncharted. What do you think?
We could probably flip between them.
Okay.
I mean, I do want you to finish up on Uncharted, but at the same time, I would like to be there for tag team.
You think we should just start tag team tomorrow then?
Oh, you could do that.
It's a possibility. Okay, well, I completely fucking I didn't make a stream schedule this week, and I'm sorry about that. I was meaning to, but I never got around to it. So I'll create one for next week, which means I still gotta find a game to do for Tuesday, but I have a few more games in mind. We'll have to see. So we'll do that. I was going to stream Nitro Field on Twitch yesterday, but I wasn't feeling good, so I put it off. We're gonna do that next week. So any mutuals who have the game on PS4, I'll be playing on my PS4 copy. So definitely join in on that. I want to get a full lobby going. Not only am I working on Miharu's video right now for the Dragonfly for Spiral Com Day. In case you haven't heard, I'm shortening my personal pronunciation of Spyro Community Day because I can't say it fast without slurring it because my mouth doesn't work 90% of the time.
My mouth doesn't work.
I've shortened it to Spyro Com Day because it's easier to say. Because I literally trip over the word community every time I say it. Anything that ends with itty, like Twinsanity or whatever, I have to really enunciate it or else it doesn't sound right. But anyway, so not only am I doing the End of the Dragonfly video for Miharu, I'm also working on my own video, which is another kind of Rayman Rabbids-ish kind of a follow-up, so it's a little bit of a teaser. I'm pretty deep into the editing process for that, so that should be out by next week. And I think, as of right now, that should be it. So if y'all want to see some CTTR, that will likely be, instead of Uncharted, what we play tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with that. Definitely come in for that. And if you want to play some Nitro Field on Twitch, well, I'll be playing that on Twitch, but if you want to join in the lobby this coming Thursday, and you're a mutual, I've got your friend code or your whatever, then yeah, The end.
The end. Alright, let's see. Where's the ghost pepper ranch sauce? What the fuck?
What the fuck? You should just eat a ghost pepper.
They don't. Oh my god. Do they not have my ghost pepper ranch? That shit is so
Time
good.
to write a complaint.
No way.
No ghost pepper ranch, 0 out of 30.
That's so stupid. Okay, anyway.
Oh. Can I say
What?
one more thing?
Yeah.
I don't have a game yet, but I'm going to choose. I'm either going to put up to a poll soon, or I'm going to choose something. I'm going to try and gauge and see what you guys want me to play, and I'm going to make it a new incentive. So I've been talking about the different incentives I want to do. We already hit the one that happened for Mario Odyssey, and Mario Odyssey I'm already done with, so I just finished it a couple days ago. That was the 3,000 subscriber incentive, so I'm going to have a 5,000 subscriber incentive. I've got 3 incentives that are upcoming. I don't know what they're going to be yet, but the first one we're going to choose is for 5,000. So the 3 incentives are 5K, 8K, and 10K. So keep that in the back of your head. And I will post through polls or through gauging what you guys want me to do. And then let's see if we can hit those goals.
Cool. I'll just get sweet sour. Alrighty. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for the stream. As always, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more casual gaming content. And join my Discord. There's a link in the description below. And to those who donated and became members or renewed their memberships, thank you. And I will see you next time. Till then, this is Miharu, signing off.
Yay.